Welcome to Jester Jesters Goes Viral, episode.
Sliders! I remember that show. Do you? A sci-fi adventure about a person just trying to get back home from sliding from one place to the next. It was a really good show. I think that Jester Jesters Goes Viral has been a good show too. Trying to keep the spirit of the night going over 8 weeks, despite the odds, in this weird scenario we find ourselves in. It's been quite fulfilling. Feels like a good job well done. Oh boy. Hello and welcome to Jester Jesters Goes Viral episode 8. That's 2 months. Cheers. You know what they say, even a stopped clock will say 8 o'clock on a Monday twice a day. It's been an interesting bank holiday weekend. We've had VE Day, and the rules have now changed from staying indoors to staying alert. So as long as we don't talk openly about the virus and turn our lights off after curfew, we'll win this bloody war. The government also introduced a 5-step, 5-alarm system. So that's 25 gears. That's a bicycle. It's all very confusing, but it does mean that people can slowly start returning to work as long as they don't mind sacrificing their health and not taking a bus. You have to spare a thought though for all the quiz masters and quiz organisers who have absolutely no takers when the pub quizzes do finally return. I've done 7 quizzes this week already and it's a Monday. If we are going to start returning to work bit by bit, I will be glad to see the back of conference calling, because I live in constant fear that my head is the biggest in any gallery chat window. Even when I make a conscientious effort to move a little bit back from the camera, it's always the biggest head. It's embarrassing. I'm not sure I would have been able to handle working to the end of the year without going into an actual office. I probably would have ended up changing my CV to banana bread. And that's it. Banana bread. If we are indeed actually returning to work, I for one will not be looking forward to public transport. My positive public transport experiences are limited. In fact, I think I only have one, and it happened in 2010. It was the height of the summer and I was going westbound on the Piccadilly line. An amazing thing happened. The doors opened and in flew this massive bee. Huge it was, about the same size as my head. And it started buzzing from one end of the carriage to the other, going bzzz, boo, bzzz, boo. And a miraculous thing happened. Everybody suddenly looked up. All the children tried to catch the bee in their sticky hands, because all children have sticky hands, and all the women tried to fan the bee out of the way because all women are scared of bees. And all the men begged the bee for forgiveness because all men are guilty of something. And as I watched this scene unfold, I thought to myself, wow, this lonely, lost, stupid, fat, insignificant insect has united this whole carriage in a sense of community in an otherwise antisocial environment. How wonderful. How amazing. So I've been releasing bees in the tube ever since, with mixed results. A lot more people are more allergic than you'd think. The faces blow up. Well, that never happened. What? What are you supposed to be? I'm a bee, so I am. You look like a warning from history. That never happened. There was a bee on the tube, but you never released any bees. So don't be lying. Look, I'm just trying to be creative with the night. Like, you don't have to be such a buzzkill. Were you going to say buzzkill? You're a hack. You're a hack. Fine. I didn't really want to do this today anyway, so why don't you take over the night? Alright, I will host the night. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jester Jesters Goes Viral. What's worse than finding half a worm in your apple? The answer is being stung to death like the wee boy at the end of My Girl, starring Macaulay Culkin. Please welcome your first act, Mr. Jonathan Hearn and Patrick Hearn.
Oh, it's just you. I thought I was late.
Well, you kind of are.
I thought you said that he said he was coming at 7.
Yeah, I did, and he did.
But at 7:30.
Yeah, I know.
Let's just wait for him.
Yeah, I am.
If he doesn't arrive soon, though, we're going to miss the gig. It's already started. Why did he say to come at 7:30 if the gig starts at 7:30?
He said 7?
Well, he's not here. Let's just go to the gig. Maybe he's there. Maybe we'll see him there.
Yeah, okay.
I couldn't hear a word you were saying.
I wasn't saying anything.
I didn't see him in there, did you?
It was quite nice, you know, like seeing it live with everyone and like watching everyone else enjoy it. I think we should have stayed.
Oh, do you want a glass?
Oh yeah, okay. Does this work? Right.
Yeah, okay. Is it going in? Okay, that's gone all over the screen. That's gone all over the screen.
No, it's all right, John. I've got somewhere.
Have you seen the 1951 film A Place in the Sun?
No.
Neither have I, but it doesn't matter. I think there's a scene in it where Elizabeth Taylor's character is in a room, and then a guy comes in, and then there's the sun's coming through the window, and it's pretty dead here.
Well, it's just us.
Well, you know what? I know about a party that's going on. We could go to.
Sure. What kind of party?
There'll be women there. Look, it'll be fun. I'll send you the address.
You can just send it on here, John.
Make my own. So,
God, that's incredible. I'm still using a boring old MacBook computer mic. Let's discuss what mics we're all using, everyone. This is fun.
Blue Yeti. It's USB, one of the best in the
Yeah. Oh, the Yeti. I know of the Yeti.
Oh, hi, John.
Pulled out at the.
Hi. Thanks for inviting me. This is Patrick, by the way, my brother.
Hi,
hey.
Hi, Patrick.
How's it
Just
going?
talking about microphones. Good to have you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you
cool.
hear that? Did you hear that Amazon sold out of podcasting microphones because that's how like everyone's starting a podcast now.
Shut up. Really? When?
Yeah.
Because it's like I could die to. What's my dream? A podcast.
So Patrick, as I was saying, yeah.
Podcasts are pretty...
What the interesting thing is that only the other day I was thinking about Elizabeth Taylor, yeah. So I must be kind of in tune with the universe because suddenly I'm there in a room with her, yeah.
That's a fun little segue, wasn't it? There.
So there's a great one called Welcome to Night Vale. I'll give that a go. How are you?
Is that a podcast?
Aye, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really good. But that's the thing. As much as I joke about it, to be fair, I have been listening to a lot of podcasts.
I haven't
This
listened
place
to
is
any
full of
podcast.
wankers, Patrick. Let's just go.
Nice
Thanks
meeting
for
you guys.
coming.
Oh.
Bye.
Yeah, nice.
Cheers,
Yep.
cheers, guys.
My God, they were rude.
Can we just go on like a nice quiet video chat where we can talk?
What about here?
Yeah, it's all right.
Cool. So I'm in the room with her. Yeah.
Wait, Elizabeth Taylor?
Yeah.
What? How?
Well, it's a dream.
It's a dream.
Yeah.
It's a dream you're telling me about.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going home.
I thought that was very good. Fuck yeah! A bee hosting the night. What will they think of next? Anyway, please welcome your next guest, Declan Kennedy.
This message is being broadcast on all frequencies from the future to the year 2020. We are doing this in a last desperate bid to alter recorded history and improve our circumstances. Variations on coronavirus have devastated the British Isles. There's now only 20 of us left. 17 of them are Scottish, Welsh and Irish. We have to do everything ourselves, and we're well behind with Amazon deliveries, fruit picking and episodes of EastEnders. Still, social distancing's a whole lot easier. You must stay alert for the COVID-19 virus. That's why in a month's time everyone's eyes will be replaced with microscopes and their fingers with swabs to make it easier. Please stay inside, unless you have to work, in which case go to work. Unless it's not safe, in which case go inside again. Unless you've not been furloughed, in which case go to work. We are sending you the calculations for quantum bilocation, the only way this is possible. It was discovered too late in our time. Please stop doing the conga, it hastens the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Likewise, the national game of Twister, which will occur on the second bank holiday in May, and the nationwide game of Kiss Chase in July, the charity hookathon for VGA Day, or the Britain's Got Spit saliva swap of August bank holiday. We can confirm with the utmost confidence that 5G is not a threat. Well, at least not until it was used to do a Zoom conference call involving the whole of Britain, and everyone went deaf because no one remembered to mute their mics. Please support the NHS. In our time, it was entirely powered by sweatshops full of people clapping and hundreds of pensioners on treadmills doing sponsored walks. Now it's one lone Scotsman in a massive hamster wheel. Please continue to stay 2 meters apart from each other when shopping. Almost a fifth of the deaths were people desperately trying to get remainder giant-sized crumpets to the self-service at Tesco. Most of them were outlived by the crumpets. There's now a crumpet mountain in Hertfordshire whose mould is so advanced it's gained sentience and is demanding to be toasted. Please do what you can to stop the spread. In our time, it's wiped out diabetics, obese people, smokers, alcoholics, people with irregular heartbeats, old people, anyone who isn't already spending 8 hours in the gym. No one who's left has anything interesting to say or any life experience. The whole of Anglia was wiped out when one of us tried to operate a vinyl turntable. None of us knows how to write poetry, novels, screenplays, musicals, games or comics. Please protect your creative people. All we've got is podcasts about free radicals and ab crunchers. Please do better than we did. Please.
Next up, it's Luke Rollason.
Instead of going to a disco, why not be a disco? Get a wire coat hanger and a disco ball, put it on your heads, and...
Next up, it's Patrick McCabe.
It's your boy Patrick, coming to you live from lockdown, London, 2020. Obviously, tell us something we don't know. Well, I'll tell you what I've been up to. A lot of people have been running marathons. I've been running my own intellectual marathon, boys and girls, because you see, I have been playing myself at chess for about a week now, and I'm about to win. Get down in on the action. See, the key to chess is intellectual strategy and fucking performance. Let me just fucking line it up now. One sec. Let me just line the camera up now. One sec. He's got it lined up. He's got it lined up. The goalie, the horse is shitting himself. He's shit. Oh fuck. Let me just move him out of the way. Ow. Okay. Let me just dangerous.
Next up, Paul Thomas Burke.
This morning, my mum's new cats brought in a young bird with a broken wing. We got the bird from their jaws and saw that it was still alive and okay. So we put it in a box with some food and some water. And we phoned round the animal rescue centres to see if they could help. But they couldn't. There was nothing that could be done for the bird in the long term. So I took the small, soft, breathing and scared bird and put it into 2 plastic bags and went outside and smashed it against the wall twice. I hit it hard enough that on the second impact it burst through the 2 bags. And you know what the most disgusting thing about it was? Donald Trump was the President of America whilst I did it. Donald Domestos cleans lungs, bright light, I'm smart in that kind of way, Trump. Excuse mon français, but fuck la pandemic. The true insanity here is that he's in charge of America. Earlier this year, I had to travel to Ireland, which meant I had to catch a bus, to get a tube, to catch a train, to get a plane, to get a coach, to be where I had to be. Only that there was no train. When I got there, the screen read, delayed, delayed, delayed. It turned out that further down the line, some poor bastard had thrown himself under the train. Evidently, everything had got too much for him, and he had visualised a pizza wheel and he improvised. So I googled my options as there were no more flights, and I found a train that would get me to a boat, which would get me to a coach, which would get me to where I needed to be. Now I was at King's Cross, the train was at Euston, and I had 16 minutes to keep it that way. So I ran. Now I'm not fast, but I was quick enough that between the ticket office and the train, I had enough time to buy a coffee and a baguette that cost me more than the flight I was currently missing. This all happened during the heavy rains in January, and I spent the train journey staring out at a landscape of burst riverbanks and flooded roads, and I didn't think about the weather at sea until I saw the waves crashing high over the seawall as we approached the port. The sailing was delayed, and I spent the hours walking around a small town where the only thing you could buy were closed shops for sale. Eventually, I boarded a ship and headed into the winds that were driving the rains inland, driven by a climate accelerating through changes. It was one of those kind of days where you just see bits of the world are broken and how that breaks people. And this is why we elect leaders. We put them there to make the right decision, to help us, to protect us, and to fix things. The only thing that Donald Trump could honestly fix is a boxing match. And Boris Johnson can't fix his tie. Neither man is smarter than his haircut. Though, in at least one respect, Boris is smarter than Donald. Killing the bird wasn't a nice thing to do, but it was the right thing to do, though I felt like a cunt. But that's a consequence of being in a position of power, which is different from being in a position of power and as a consequence thinking it's your right to feel a cunt.
And that's another Jester Jesters Goes Viral done for another week. Massive thank you to all the acts that submitted this week, and indeed over the last 8 weeks. I don't know how many more of these there's going to be left now that the rules have changed. However, if you do want to get involved in the last potential ever Jester Jesters Goes Viral, hand in an audio file or a video file, and we'll line it up and make it a good one. It's usually about this time in the evening that we would ask for donations at the Betsy Trotwood, but as we're not there, head over to jesterjesters.com and make a donation. And who knows what will happen? Maybe we'll meet again. Oh, they have a plan. We're allowed outside to walk. I can walk!